Okay, we're going to go ahead and start the communication technology section. We just finished up with design and engineering, and we kind of went through the problem solving process, and now we're going into after you create a system or a new product, we have to communicate it to the public or to the world. So this is kind of a overview of all the things we're going to cover. But we're basically going to use technology to communicate our messages. Okay. First, I kind of want you to understand that communication's been around forever. We've been going back in history, go into the caves. They had cave drawings and things as such. But today is very complex systems. We are in a world that everything is changing rapidly. Communication is going from used to just be telephones in your homes, and now it's telephones in every single room, every pocket, and so on. And it's just not a communication device as much like a cell phone, but it's also the world's knowledge at your fingertips. So it's changing. We have lots of different communication technology forms, and but just understand that communication technology, this is the whole unit, covers anything that uses a technical mean to transmit information from one place to another. Doesn't have to be from person to person. It can be from any item to another item. Okay, so again, communication, you think of English. Well, communication technology is using what you know to transmit data using technology. Okay, so I kind of want you to understand that the items that we communicate are these simple things. We get across ideas, we convey information, and we express some emotions. Okay, we do a lot of information exchanges. If you look on the wall at school, we provide the bell schedule. I know it's a very simple example, but the bell schedule is printed on the wall, so we are getting the information to you. Newsprint and newspapers and magazine articles on the internet and so on, we're getting information across. Commercials might have ideas. Go Green we're trying to convey an idea to you. And we also use a lot of emotion to tie the emotion in the commercial or the movie or whatever we're trying to talk about. We try to tap into everybody's emotions because it's a very powerful thing when you get emotional about something. So those are the items. The ways we do that, or how do we use those three things, is we inform people, we persuade people, and entertain them. A lot of entertainment is for fun, but you can also think about like most of our movies and music, television, books. That's a form of entertainment. And persuade people. A lot of times we try to persuade people to buy something, and then again, that is a form of communication. That's one of the main goals. Okay, we might persuade with emotions. We might persuade with information. Think about this. There's movies, or not the movies, the TV commercial with Sarah McLachlan singing that song. You can probably kind of understand what it's a lot of emotion. It's for the Humane Society. If you remember the commercial, you'll probably always remember it because it does put you in a spot where you have to use your emotions and feel bad for the animals, and you'll probably always remember it. So that is a good way to persuade somebody, is to tap into emotions. And then there's informative pieces just to kind of get the information out there. There's a lot of different ways to do every one of these, but so again, the three goals: inform, persuade, and entertain. Now, this is where it comes to be the fun part, and it's very simple to understand it, but I also want you to think that the world is changing, and it's changing so rapidly that we try to find new ways to do all four of these. we try to find new ways to communicate human to human, which that's the most common. That's me to you. Machine to human. How are we going to have machines talking to people? And again, that is very, very rapidly changing at the moment. If you think about your cars starting to communicate to you, your houses are going to start communicating to you, your phones are talking to you. Think about the alarm system on your phone. It wakes you up in the middle of the morning. Okay, then human to machine. How do you communicate to the machines? Well, there's plenty of different reasons or different ways that you communicate to machines. Example on the PowerPoint, you set the thermostat to put on some heat at a certain degree, or the air at a certain degree. You tell things to do something. You talk to the computer in a sense of a mouse click. And then machine to machine. Kind of like you already did, you had computer-aided drafting. The computer-aided drafting went to the printer, and so the computer talking to the printer is machine to machine. There's a lot of different ways that we use these four concepts, and again, they're changing so rapidly, and that's, as engineers, you kind of want to keep this moving. How is a machine going to talk to a machine? And my theory is, and this is about driving, and I talked to some of you this summer about it, but machine to machine, my belief is machines are going to start talking to other machines, cars. And you've already seen a lot of commercials where a car is starting to talk to another car about how close they are. And it'll send a message to the car, and the car will react. I also think that it's going to do a lot more of machine talking to machine, for example, in the road. You might have machines embedded into the road, so if you're driving and all of a sudden you start going off the road, the car will talk to the road will talk back to the car and tell it to scoot over. Again, these are all theories, but again, they're changing so rapidly. In the next 10 years, you're going to see a huge abundance of changes. Here's some systems, and I know we talked about systems, just kind of a group of things that work together, and we've broken this up into, and these are all the ones we're going to learn this year. Printed graphics, anything printed. So you can look through and see printed items, t-shirts, billboards, flyers, newspapers, brochures, etc. There's a ton of different printed graphics. Photography or photographic communication, using the photo to communicate message. Telecommunication is long distance communication, using your phones, televisions, radios, etc. Computer and internet communication is how do we use the computer and internet to make communication effective. And a technical graphic communication we're not going to go over because we just did. The last 9 weeks we covered engineering and AutoCAD and creating drawings. Drawings is a form of communication. That's why the last unit you went over was communicating design solutions. Well, that was learning how to create the graphics for the engineering field, which is the technical graphic communication. The last thing I want to talk about, if you are interested in any of this communication, is there's plenty of jobs out there, but here's one that's kind of interesting, is advertising and learning how to sell a product that best represents the people around you. For example, when you go to Walmart in a checkout line, one of the coolest things in my mind is seeing all the products there. And if you notice, 90% of them are geared towards women. Women usually do all the shopping. Women will also think a lot of things are cute. And so if you look around the checkout aisle, the little bitty cute items, the little dollar items that are real cheap, that doesn't feel like you're spending a ton of money, you're getting a good deal, they're right there by the checkout. They're called convenient items, and just kind of check it out. It's kind of an interesting, it's a type of marketing or type of advertising, and it's a really effective way to think about the people around you. Again, we'll have more on this, but this is just an overview of communicating technology. Thanks for watching.